Hello, Joy family. Welcome to the Joyful House and welcome to Crochet Heart. I hope everyone is doing well and don't let me throw you off. But yes, it is not Wednesday when I'm supposed to be doing these updates. It is Saturday. Just due to a crazy week, I did not get to get us started on project number 2 on Wednesday as I normally do. And so I couldn't wait till the following Wednesday. So here we are on a Saturday getting Crochet Heart started and going. Okay, as you know from the last time we were together, I am starting project number 2 of Crochet Heart, and I'm very excited. And as you know, I have also shared that I am actually going to be designing this sweater instead of following someone else's pattern, because I really want to make a sweater that is from the collar down, and a lot of sweaters are made from the waist up. They're made in multiple pieces that need to be sewn together. And well, I like designing. I like being creative. I love crocheting. So why not incorporate all of that into the Crochet Heart project? Because actually that's what it's all about, is doing things that you've always wanted to do, but not allowing yourself the time to do it. As always, I want to give a great big shout out to Dana from Dana's Wanderlust Crochet for getting this event going and for personally inviting me to be a part of it. I am so grateful to accept that challenge and be on this journey, because I have so many crochet adventures that I want to do and go on, but life has always seemed to have gotten in the way, and this is a great excuse to put aside a little bit of time every week to work on something to achieve those goals. So going forward, project number 2, we are going to refer to this as none other than the Joy Sweater. No shocker there. If you're new to my channel, welcome in. It is a pleasure and an honor to have you here in the Joyful House. And if you are a returning friend, welcome back. If you are new, then perhaps you may or may not know that joy is my life word. I love the word joy. I love everything about the word joy, but more than that, I love what joy means, and I love what joy means and looks like in my life. So if I'm going to design a sweater, it only makes sense that we call it the Joy Sweater. And even better, my friends, I have created a unique stitch that I've not seen anywhere else. And so I am calling it the Joy Stitch in this sweater. So when I am finished, I will have a written pattern available. And if you're interested in the pattern and you like the way the sweater looks at the end, then please reach out to me and I'll let you know how you can come about obtaining that pattern. Okay, so just a quick reminder, I'm going to go over the colors of yarn that I am going to be using for this project. So the first color is the soft and shiny. In fact, all of this yarn, by the way, is soft and shiny, or it is Caron Simply Soft. The majority of it is the Loops and Threads Soft and Shiny. There are only 2 skeins of yarn that I'm using that are Caron Simply Soft, and I'll let you know which is which. So in the Loops and Thread Soft and Shiny, I am using the colorway Denim Jeans. So this deep, dark navy blue. This is also the color that I will be using to do the cuff at the collar, the waist, and the sleeves. Then the second color I'm bringing in is a Caron Simply Soft, and it is in the colorway Soft Blue. Then the third color that I am bringing in is a Soft and Shiny with Loops and Threads, and it is in the colorway Blue Moon. Bring that a little bit closer so you can see those colors there. All right, I'm gonna try to hold these up. Then the fourth color is a Caron Simply Soft, and it is in the colorway Country Blue. Love that color. Okay, so here are our colors so far. And then the next color that we're bringing in is a Loops and Threads Soft and Shiny, and it is in the colorway Shimmer. And it's got some beiges in it, as you can see, and a little bit of gray, which leads us into the next Loops and Threads Soft and Shiny, and it is in the colorway of Gray. And then the last color in the Loops and Threads Soft and Shiny is in the colorway Cream. So let me try and squunch all these together with my short arms, my little hands, and see if I can successfully hold all of these up. And I am not getting, there we go. All right, so these are all of the colors, and it's still kind of hard to see them all, but there they are. And you'll get to see them a little bit better as they start coming together in the sweater. Now, not 100% sure how I'm going to do this just yet, but I'm actually going to be making two of these sweaters in the same colorway, one for Mr. Joyful and one for myself. And if you missed it the first time when we were discussing this and getting ready for starting this sweater, this yarn is yarn that Mr. Joyful and I had picked out a couple years ago for me to make some like lap gam blankets to sit around either in rocking chairs on a porch or on a couch in a cabin that we dream about retiring to. But we've decided to actually combine all the colors that we chose for our individual blankets and create these sweaters. So that is what I'm doing. So let me go ahead and show you what I have done so far. Now, if you have ever designed something, you know that you typically don't get it right on the first time, right? Yeah, no. There's a lot of working and a lot of frogging, probably more frogging than working. And so I did attempt to start the sweater. And again, I'm doing it from the collar down. And I didn't like the way it was turning out. So I did frog it once already, and then I started again, and I started doing just half double crochets. This is before I decided to be adventurous and come up with a joy stitch. But anyway, so this is what I had gotten started on the second go round. And so there is that dark blue color. Now, this is just getting the sweater started. This does not have a shape collar at all, but it was just to get it started. And you can see my little stitch markers on either side because I was going to do the, you know, the normal four-point yoke on it. But one thing I don't like about the 4-point yoke, and it's just my opinion, is I don't like the seam that runs from that shoulder line down to the armpit. So I decided to scratch this, but I saved it because I wanted you to see that, you know, I had attempted to do something different. So let's throw that away, all gone. This is what I'm leaning towards, and I'm loving it. It is not using the 4 points that you normally use on a yoke, but we'll see how it's going to go. So far, I think it's working, and I really, really like it. But this is what I have. This is what I have so far. So you've got your collared rib, your rib collar here. Now it's still not completely done. I will go back and do like a single crochet or something around this once, you know, 1 or 2 rounds to kind of shape that up a little bit. But so I started it with the rib collar, and I am going down, and here is my stitch. I don't know if you can see it very well. Let me grab it like this. Okay. Can you see that? It is kind of a weird combination. You started out like a half double crochet, but you're actually making a single crochet, even though you yarn over. And then you're doing a half double crochet and then finishing with a single crochet. So it's kind of a weird little stitch, but one day I do plan on doing a tutorial and I will show it. And then I'm also planning to do a tutorial showing how to do the joy stitch. So stay tuned for all of that. Have to finish this first before those come out, but hopefully I'll be able to introduce those on my new segment that will be airing starting in January. And it's called I Bought the Yarn, Now What? Many of you have heard me talk about it before now. But anyway, so as you can see, here's our navy blue color. Here's number 2, the light blue. Then here's number 3. This is the variegated yarn here, the one that's called Blue Moon. And then I've gotten to that 4th color, the Country Blue. And it is a 2-row repeat at the moment. Pretty much the yoke of the sweater is going to be in a 2-row repeat. With every other row, there are increases in it. But again, I am writing the pattern up as I go. So just to kind of give you an idea of what it is looking like. Now I have to put my eyes back on so I can see. So you can see so far what I'm coming up with is working, even though it doesn't have the 4 points that we customarily do when we do a collar, a sweater from the collar down. So I'm hoping my little technique is going to work here, but I'm excited. So let me know what you think. All right. Now, just a note. I'm supposed to work on this only about an hour a week, and really there is no set time. Dana just said it's something that we do at our leisure, in and around life and everything else that we're already working on our hooks or other projects, crafts that we may or may not do. But anyway, I had decided with project 1 that I would work on it for an hour a week and then just show you the progress, because I do have a lot of other projects that I work on throughout the week for the channel itself. And then of course, you know that I make things to also sell. But anyway, I am so excited, you guys. I cannot contain my excitement. I want to see this come to life. And so my goal when I decided that I was going to make one for Mr. Joyful and myself was to take 2 hours a week, 1 hour towards his and 1 hour towards mine. I still want to do that, but I cannot contain my excitement about designing the sweater, and I don't want to lose any thought process or flow. So I honestly do not know if I am going to be true to only working on each sweater for an hour for a total of 2 hours a week, or just work on designing one and making it from first stitch to the last stitch and then making the second one. But I guess time will tell. And I will confirm it next Wednesday when we come together, because you'll either see a lot of progress on this one or a little bit more progress on it and the introduction of the second sweater. And of course, Mr. Joyful and I are different sizes. So that is something else as well that I will be navigating through, which is great because it'll help me figure out better how to best guide someone uh, should they decide they want to make this or um, get the pattern that they can adjust it to the size that they need. So my goal is to at least have it set up for small to 5X, but if I can figure it out, I'll try to do like extra small to 5X. And then eventually, y'all know I'm going to have to create the same flow with the joy stitch in a baby sweater, both for boy and girl. But again, it's basically a unisex sweater. You just change the color way. And then of course you can adjust the width of the collar and the waist between male and female as well. So I thought this was going to be too thick of a rib collar for Mr. Joyful. And to be honest, I'm not one that likes a ton of things around my neck unless they're very loose. And I was kind of concerned for myself, but I'm going to be honest. I love it. I love the width that this is. So, but of course, you can always be creative. A pattern is just like a recipe. It's a guide to go by, but throw in your own crafty ambitions and your own crafty skills and your own crafty, adventure and make it your own. So I hope you'll stick around and join me on this adventure of, figuring out this design and watching it grow. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you again to Dana. Her information is in the description box below to her channel, as well as the introduction video, because Crochet Heart is open to anyone and everyone. So come along, come join us. And whether you do or whether you don't, please, if you will, send me pictures of your finished makes so that I can share them out on the channel in my tea parties on Thursday nights. All right, you guys, be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way. Make your own joyful creations and be the joy in everything that you do. Nugs and joy. Mwah. I love you, and I'm trying to do this. One of these days I'll get this and be suave and debonair.